So I'm not gonna lie, this is gonna be a weird commentary. And it's one that doesn't really explore the same trenches that we normally explore on this YouTube channel. Heck, this isn't really the kind of thing we've spoken about at all over the past few years. But I do think it is worth mentioning because this has been on my mind lately, and I think now is a really good time to mention it. The NHL has a really intriguing problem at the moment, and I'm not saying this is a devastating, end of the world, sound the alarm, cloudy with a chance of meatballs type of problem. I'm saying more so that this is a problem from the perspective of somebody like me. Because I get it, people don't want to hear me complaining or talking about the state of YouTube and commentary channels who cover the news around the National Hockey League or whatever, but this is not an isolated thing just with me. It's been no secret that this YouTube channel is not popping off as much as it was, let's say, back in April, or June, or July. You know why this channel was popping off back then? It's a very reasonable explanation. It happens every single year. Because we had ourselves the playoffs, which are usually very exciting. We had ourselves the draft, which is very, very exciting, and we had free agency. Those events, mostly the free agency and the draft, those events are the catalysts for a lot of hockey-driven discussion and interest on social media. And that includes YouTube. You check out my channel, you check out Grav's channel, you check out the Hockey Guys channel, you check out Mike, Top Shelf Hockey, Hot Take Hockey, John. All of our channels generally do better when there's a lot of interest and there's a lot of stuff happening. That's not a surprise. It's always been like that. But things have gone a little bit off the rails this season, and I'm not blaming anybody for this. I'm not bitter about it, I'm not angry about it. I just want you to listen. Because the problem that I am seeing with the NHL, and this was talked about by Rick Dhaliwal on Halford and Bruff earlier yesterday, is the fact that parity in the National Hockey League is at an all-time high. To the point where now, the trap that we saw back in the summer when the cap rose up tremendously, which prevented teams from going out there and trading guys away because they could just spend money to keep the players they already had, that problem has now seeped into the NHL regular season. And I wanted to refer to Canucks News Summaries, who summarized Dhaliwal's Halford and Bruff hit yesterday, talking about the second-line center search. There is too much league parity, and everyone is looking for a second-line center. Teams want to wait 15 to 20 games before starting serious trade talks. The Canucks, if they wanted to make a center right now, they would have to massively overpay. Now, how does this relate to parity? Well, the summary doesn't go over it specifically, but what Dhaliwal alludes to is the fact that there is so much parity in the National Hockey League right now that it's causing a holdup in actual trade activity and in trade activity direction, if you may say. Teams are not really going out there and thinking about trading away their guys. The only real seller that we saw heading into the summer and the inevitable season was Pittsburgh. And now guess what? They're doing really well. They have no reason to go out there and trade away any of their players. They're first in the league right now. But this is what I mean about parity. Take a look at third place in the National Hockey League. You've got the Winnipeg Jets with 16 points in 11 games. Tied with the New Jersey Devils, who have 16 points in 11 games. Then you've got the Utah Mammoth, who are also tied with 16 points in 11 games, and the Canadiens with 16 points in 11 games. These 5 teams are tied for third in the NHL. And if you just minus 1 point, you get into Vegas, who is 8th in the NHL with 15 points. And then if you minus another 2 points from that, look at how far 13 points takes you in this league. There is a 5-way tie for 12th in the NHL with 13 points, and that is literally just 3 points removed from third place in the league. Parity is at an all-time high when you look at how many points are separating the top teams. It's not a lot. You look at the divisions, take a look at that Atlantic division. Guess what's the difference between third place in the Atlantic and last place in the Atlantic? 2 points! That's it! Even if you go to the top point scorers in the NHL, we already spoke about this in the last video. You know how many guys are tied for number 1 in the NHL in goals right now? 7. Mark Scheifele, Nathan MacKinnon, Jack Hughes, Cole Caulfield, Morgan Geekie, Pavel Dorofeyev, and Kiefer Sherwood are all tied for number 1. And if you just subtract 1 goal from there, you have 14 guys at the top of the NHL's goal-scoring list separated by 1 goal. This is ridiculous. Look at the parity in the National Hockey League and tell me that this is something we've seen before, because it's not. Look at the top 12 point scorers in the NHL at this time. They're separated by 3 points. And you can talk about points per game, you can talk about this, you can talk about that. The bottom line is, the league is so close, and all of these teams are so bundled up together in terms of their talent. Nobody's really above and beyond, nobody's really falling back, except for Calgary, that now teams are being very reluctant to actually make moves. And there isn't really any direction for moves. The trade rumor mill hasn't really been churning the same results as we have seen in previous years. And it's gotten to a point now where, piggybacking off of a summer that was not active, there was no activity because everybody was like, all right, well, we got cap space. Let's just re-sign Tavares. Let's just re-sign Bennett and Ekblad and Marchand. Let's re-sign Besser. Big movement came when Nikolai Ehlers decided to leave and Vladislav Gavrikov left. But then the other guys. Mitch Marner went to the one team that everybody knew he was going to go to. It was a low-activity summer, and that low activity and the lack of actual movement has transcended into the regular season because all these teams, they just happen to be constructed talent-wise pretty similarly to each other. And there's so much parity now that the trade waves that we're normally used to seeing are not actually going. The trade winds are absolutely not blowing. The moon's gravity doesn't have any effect on the trade waves. And us hockey YouTubers who generally make videos about this kind of stuff, we're kind of crap out of luck because there isn't really much to talk about. And I know for me, like, you can say, oh, well, Lego, this is like a time for self-reflection for you, isn't it? Like, the topics aren't really there, and the YouTube algorithm has gotten people cracked out, and they're not seeing your videos anymore, etc., etc., etc. Yeah, I feel like the fact that all of this is happening at the same time presents a brand new landscape for hockey YouTubers and hockey commentary YouTubers that we haven't seen in years. And this is so unique for everybody involved, and especially for me too, looking at the numbers that I'm pulling, which pale in comparison to last year, which pale in comparison to July, which is not surprising because everything was better in July. But now it's like, normally we would start to see the trade rumors sphere bubbling up again. But now we're getting just small tidbits of stuff. It's not really like last year where, oh, Mikko Rantanen is going to go. Oh, Pettersson or Miller, one of these guys is going to go. Oh, Carolina really wants to make a splash. Are they going to get Pettersson or Miller or Rantanen or whatever? Like, we're not getting any of those narratives because none of these teams are really willing to explore it. Nobody's so good that they want to go all in, and nobody's falling out that they want to start selling. This is a real problem that the NHL is having this year that we have not seen before. At least during my time here on YouTube, which spans almost a decade, so I think it's kind of fair to say before. But I don't know, you can let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think parity in the NHL has gotten to a point now where it is problematic for the cycle of exciting news and potential ideas? Where now we have to let the games do the talking and not just talk about trade rumors all day because there aren't any trade rumors anymore. At least not like before. If you enjoyed this video, you can feel free to hit the like button, subscribe if you want to as well. Comments help out with the algorithm, so I'd appreciate it if you got involved there. But ultimately, this is what I'm thinking about the NHL right now. Do you agree or disagree? Let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sign on, and bye.